This video is sponsored by Atlas VPN. Hi everyone, welcome back to another wonderful edition of me tiptoeing around Disney needlessly, making a ship more complicated than it had to be. As while everyone loves Phineas and Ferb, no one loves having to Google character ages to figure out if Ferb got groomed or not by his 26-year-old girlfriend. What we're gonna do today should not be this loaded of a question, yet here we are. So context, Phineas and Ferb was kind of the bane of my existence. It was the Disney equivalent of Teen Titans Go, in that it's actually good. I was just trying way too hard to pretend to have good taste. It's the story of two stepbrothers finding new ways to enjoy their summer vacation, while their sister is being a narc. It was a crazy, inventive show that really made you feel like you wasted your summer vacation. It was fun, dumb, and lots of bops. Phineas and Ferb really just threw everything at you and had a blast doing it. Like while the boys were doing their thing, their pet platypus was a secret agent who fought an evil scientist in desperate need of therapy. The whole Tri-State area was packed to the brim with memorable memes and characters. This was just a show where pretty much anything could happen. Kids building roller coasters, time travel, so much singing, and these two hooking up. It's less shocking than you think, but I'm also not going to throw side-eye at a woman in her mid-20s dating a college freshman. What you really need to do though, is check out Atlas VPN's Black Friday's Day sale. VPNs are an essential in today's society. Everywhere you go, every website you touch, and every click you use is putting your information at risk. As if it isn't malware, it's ads blotting out your screen. But with Atlas, it has never been easier or cheaper to protect your sanity. As right now, they are giving an awesome Black Friday's Day steal at only $1.70 a month, with 6 months free and a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is the best offer they've had all year, and you guys really need to check it out. As Atlas is probably the best and easiest first VPN for most users. Its interface is super intuitive, and with it you can get access to thousands of servers across the world with just a click of a button, making it look like you're in different countries and giving you access to region-locked content. Cutting down on your subscriptions, so it's just hypothetically, a lot of shows in the US are split up between many different streaming services. You could have all your favorite shows be on Hulu and Netflix, but if you go to the UK, they might all just be on Netflix. And that's not even going into the regional deals you can get with Atlas, as instead of having to basically pay way too much for everything, you can make it look like you're in a foreign country, say India, where everything is way cheaper. Buy like YouTube Premium for only like $1.69 a month, which in the US, it's like $12. You can't lose money with Atlas. And there has never been a better time to sign up than right now. They are running a massive Black Friday's Day steal where you can get Atlas VPN Premium for only $1.70 a month, 6 months extra, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is the best offer they've given all year. It's only for a limited time, so click the link in the description, check out Atlas, support my channel, and hey, go support yourself. So back to the video. Now, where were we? Oh yes. Now, I'm going to try to explain what works about this ship and how it put itself between a minor and a hard place. First off, what's good about it? The characters. Ferb is great. He's mostly silent but still dripping personality. While Phineas gets to do most of the talking, Ferb was the man of action, becoming the more perceptive and mature of the two. He was still a kid with plenty of random moments, but he was also way more self-aware than his brother. I mean, that wasn't a high bar. He missed the world's most obvious crush, but Ferb was the mature one. He had the pearls of wisdom. And if anyone in this show was gonna have game, it was Ferb. He had that American movie star charm, in that he's actually British. His dad married Phineas's mom when they were both little, and the two have been pretty much inseparable ever since. They were both dreamers and loved building stuff, but you always got the vibe that despite them being partners, Ferb is very much the quiet support to Phineas's dreams, one who checks the nuts and bolts so that the whole project doesn't come crashing down on both of their heads, with this unsung hero approach serving him well in his much later support of Vanessa.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey Ferb, snap out of it!
So yeah, Vanessa is Dr. Doofenshmirtz's daughter, the man whose past can be best described as a trauma factory. This petty but very loving idiot broke up with his wife as they simply wanted different things. However, despite the divorce, he is still very involved in his daughter's life, while Vanessa is very much a teen dealing with an overly passionate father. Vanessa is the teen of the show. Candace, Ferb's sister, has her own share of drama, but most of it concerns busting her brothers. She doesn't have the same big arcs as Vanessa does, giving Vanessa all the drama about dealing with her parents. Another one for the Cartoon Goth collection, Vanessa is fine. She's fun for the show that she's in. The bond between her and her dad is heartwarming, with the ways she gets involved with the rest of the cast always being a highlight. As when she's around, she almost feels like she's from a different show, having the cool reserved teen angle down compared to the more comedy-focused main plot. That said, I would not call her anything special, mostly because comparison is the death of happiness, and being a goth with daddy issues voiced by the goth vampire queen herself, anything Vanessa does character-wise was done better by Marceline. Adventure Time, it was a different show. It had the time to really flesh out and build up these characters. Phineas and Ferb, more episodic. They just want to have a good time. They didn't want to have to worry about any of this lore shit. But that lack of contextualization leaves Vanessa hanging a bit. She's not bad by any means. She's great in how she creates a contrast with the rest of the non-adults. But she's no Marceline, which is hilarious since this show came out first. Now, to the actual relationship. This ship had two phases that we need to discuss. The actual show, and the flash-forward finale that confirmed that they became a couple. In the actual show, it's primarily just puppy love. Ferb meets Vanessa at a blueprint shop and is immediately weak. It was love at first sight for him, and to her, he was just some kid with green hair. She didn't think there was any significance to their interaction. There was nothing special or any intention in her saying hi to Ferb. But it did end up awakening something in him, and he would spend a whole lot of time after this silently crushing for her. But in comparison to some of the other Disney child protagonists, he handles his crush significantly better. Vanessa never becomes the obsession of his life like Wendy was for Dipper, or the only reason he exists like in Star. Ferb's crush on Vanessa is very much treated like a recurring quirk. While Phineas is off ignoring his crush, Ferb is pulling up to Vanessa in his ride from outer space, with the main point of a lot of his scene just being Ferb trying to show off a cool factor that just wouldn't work if he was doing it to other girls his age. Because the joke here is heightened by the fact that he's doing it to Vanessa, the only teen that is drawn to be attractive instead of being an elongated toddler. The show was very aware of what it was doing with her, and impressing her means way more than any of the other side characters. It makes Ferb look like a badass, but it's just a recurring quirk, that this super stoic, calm kid would have a thing for this older goth girl. Vanessa never has any strong reaction or shown to be even aware of Ferb's feelings, but never has a moment where like, oh yeah, this kid has a crush on me, better put him down easy. She just kind of becomes, oh yeah, you're that cool kid that I kind of know. She grows to appreciate him more as the series goes on, realizing how capable he is, but we never get that confirmation that she sees him as anything more than a cool, much younger kid. The most we ever see them interact is in an episode where Ferb helps Vanessa at the mall. Vanessa is trying to prove she's responsible to her dad so that he'll buy her a car, goes off on a wild goose chase to get a fake element Doof needs for his next evil scheme. This is complicated by everyone else at the mall wanting the same MacGuffin, prompting an intense game of keep away, with Vanessa slowly accepting Ferb's help, as at first, she just wants to prove to her dad and to herself that she can handle this. But her attempts to actually get the thing border on reckless as she works harder rather than smarter, nearly getting seriously hurt on multiple occasions. From slipping up on easy stuff like not looking both ways, to throwing herself off tall boxes to grab an element that is on a ceiling hook with no way down. She would have been in for some gnarly hits if Ferb hadn't been there to help her. Despite insisting she can do this on her own, Ferb dedicated the rest of his day to lending a helping hand. We see this great subtle shift in how he changes his approach to her. He doesn't ever take over what she's doing, or show her a better way to do things. Instead, he's there to assist. Even when she refuses his help to get off the ceiling, Ferb is still trying to help her, so he changes his approach, going from showing her the exit to helping her dumb plans out. Launching her up to get the vial, he is enhancing her ideas rather than using his own. Even when she's being more reckless and dumb, he's there to catch her when she falls down. And he does all of this without ever asking for anything in return. Ferb is not simping. He isn't doing all of this with the expectation that it'll pay off later. He just wants to help and see others be happy. Vanessa is his crush, not his obsession. So he's perfectly okay just doing his best. Doesn't matter if it's decorating her Halloween party or the slightly more personal sting of singing a slow song so that she and her current boyfriend can have a moment. It never felt like there was any extra strings attached to any of their interactions. Vanessa respects Ferb and recognizes his skills. While Ferb wished they could be more, but but he doesn't let his own desires supersede Vanessa's needs and wants. When Vanessa is dealing with her daddy issues, not sure how she should be dealing with him as he's been kind of obsessed with her being possibly evil too, she ends up partnering with Ferb while they're in Paris, being alone together in the city of love, where he just listens as she vents before finally giving her some good advice about maybe meeting her dad halfway, as she knows he cares and is trying, so she should maybe try and meet her dad halfway, as he's doing the same, albeit imperfectly. Ferb is the one who helps Vanessa join her dad and head out, which is great for her. Less great for Ferb, who decided it's the Eiffel Tower, meeting halfway, flower shop is right there. He might as well try and make the romantic gesture. She doesn't see it, and he is left bummed out. But no one in the scene is left to be made out to be the bad guy. It just didn't pan out, as Vanessa left before Ferb got a chance to shoot his shot. The show never really explores their relationship with any real depth, which is very much how the show worked, which is fine. Though if I'm being honest, the only couple with real romantic tension in this show is Doofenshmirtz and Perry. Ultimately though, the level that these two are at, it's for the best. Phineas and Ferb isn't really about shipping, and no one was begging to hear the rationale for why a 9-year-old should be dating a 16-year-old. Ferb was quiet and supportive, and Vanessa was cool but already had a secret agent boyfriend. It was a whole phase. If you want to talk headcanon, maybe you could see something happening between these two when they're older. But in the show, it wasn't gonna happen. And then it did.
Oh, Ferb's taking me out for Ukrainian food.
Alrighty gang, let's break down how we got to the point where people suddenly have to debate, is this grooming or not? Starting with the math. None of the kids are given a stated age in this show. All audiences, kids will assume it's whatever their age is. But the show does give us enough clues to make it a pretty easy guess. As in one episode, the boys went 20 years in the future and got caught by their mom, who states that her sons are currently 30 years old. 30 minus 20, we get 10. So ipso facto, Ferb is 10 or 9 about to be 10. Vanessa starts the series as 15, but then immediately has a birthday, bumping that up to 16, which becomes her default for the rest of the series. The flash forward character finale, Act Your Age, takes place 10 years in the future. Add that to the canonical age range, and Ferb is around 19 or 20 and Vanessa is 26. Which is a little rough. A little sketchy, some would even say. Vanessa is very much pushing the half your age plus 7 rule. But then we got confirmation from the show's creator that the exact intended age for both of them is 19 and 25, which isn't much better. Now, age gap romances, so many opinions. To me though, this is an example of a ship that I could almost get behind, but it's put itself in a situation where the content of how they got together is the difference between this being creepy or just being okay, I guess? As Vanessa is 26, she has definitely graduated college, yet here she is dating a guy who isn't even a freshman yet. As Act Your Age, it takes place before the boys leave for college. So maybe they took a gap year, who knows? But it kind of just proves these two are in very, completely different phases of their life. But more importantly than any of that bullshit is now we have to wonder, when the fuck did this happen? Did it start recently? Did it happen a year ago? Did it happen right after high school? Or was it before that? We do not have the context to know how worried we should be. I don't believe that this show would intentionally have Vanessa groom Ferb. Yet the situation that the episode sets up is sketchy. She's known Ferb since he was 9, so to have the two of them get together is going to raise some eyebrows, trigger some Googles, with no satisfying answer to be found since we simply just don't know when or how. With the next headache being how this just recolors all of their earlier interactions. Suddenly, we have to re-examine Vanessa kissing Ferb's cheek as thanks for helping her. This small innocuous thanks suddenly becomes, oh yeah, the first time I kissed your dad. Or that time she invited him to a party that she had him set up, smiling back as he was flirting. Or that one time she made an innuendo to a child.
Well, Ferb, you certainly know how to show a girl a good time.
All this leads me to be very understanding when people make that gut-worst reaction that Vanessa is a predator, as the show has put them in a position where it is an easy assumption to jump to. Like, I do not believe that was the case. I do not believe that it was intended. but we're in a situation where I can't tell you for certain that it didn't happen. This could have been handled better in so many ways, like have them be shown together in a second flash forward, where they're both older and Ferb isn't fresh out of high school. Maybe one where Vanessa's boyfriend Monty wasn't broken up with off screen, in spite of that being one of the few recurring storylines in the show. I don't think that this series or its writers had any negative intent, but it's a decision that makes you go from appreciating Ferb having game to then questioning, wait, what's going on? As even if it's not bad, the implications there, they are not what you want in a finale. Vanessa does not age really well. I appreciate Ferb's crush and Vanessa's dynamic with him, but it's never taken seriously or treated like a serious option. But then it happened, and it happened so relatively early that it makes me want to just nope the fuck out of the whole thing. As I really don't want to go through a story and think like, okay, is this friendly? Or is there something else here? I don't believe that Vanessa groomed Ferb, but the show really doesn't do enough to say that she didn't. And at the end of the day, the conversation around this has been longer and bigger than anything concerning the actual couple. Feel free to ship it if you want, but I'm keeping this as far away from me as possible, and the show simply did not need this. They did not need this. And it left us with questions that I'm not sure I really want to get the answers to. At least the other couple in the show didn't get done creepy by this finale. Alright, that's all for now. Remember to check out Atlas VPN's Black Friday's Day sale. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell me any cartoon ships you think I should take a look at. I'm gearing up for some bigger projects and looking for some smaller stuff to do in between.